Way back in 1993, my mom bought me a WWF Survivor Series VHS video from 1987. And I bought that video based on the cover. That was the first ever wrestling tape. That was the first ever wrestling show I ever watched. Back in 1993, a VHS tape of Survivor Series from 1987. I only bought the video based on how the cover looked. All I saw was a bunch of buff dudes, alpha males that I wanted to fucking look like once I got older. And that video made me a lifelong wrestling fan. A lot of people don't understand context. They just rush the judgment. Just like Eric Bischoff says, context is king, motherfucker. So let me educate you. Let me blow your mind, right? Let me put things in perspective to educate you on professional wrestling, okay? You do know it's fake, right? You do know it's not a sport, right? You do know it's fucking Broadway, right? You do know the punches, the fucking knee slaps, the super kicks are fake, right? Have you seen Kenny Omega's V-triggers? Those don't connect to nobody's face because it's fake, right? You smarks need to stop comparing professional wrestling to MMA, boxing, kickboxing, right? Wrestling has always been a sideshow circus, right? It's always been somewhat of a low budget, kind of a pageant, a beauty pageant. It's always been Broadway, a sideshow circus, a goddamn carnival, right? It's fake. It's carny shit. It's fake. It's a circus. It's a magic trick show. Here's what I mean. Like, why would you treat wrestling as a sport? It's not a sport. It's a TV show circus. It's a freak show. And the freaks, they draw. You need, as a circus promoter, you need freaks to draw you numbers, to make you money. Here's what I mean. I'm always hearing people saying, oh, looks don't matter in wrestling. All I care about is, are you a good wrestler? Nigga, it's fake. Wrestling is fucking fake. How many times do I gotta tell you that? Who cares about a nigga's wrestling skills in a predetermined sport? Before the show starts, all wrestlers rehearse every move, every spot with the fucking producer. It's a circus. It's acrobatics. It's Broadway. Why do you think wrestlers transition into acting? It's acting. Let me dig deeper on what I mean by that. So, okay. Who do you think Vince McMahon would push as the top guy of the company? Kevin Owens or Drew McIntyre? It doesn't take a genius to know he's going to choose Drew McIntyre 10 times out of 10. Let me dig deeper. Have you noticed Vince McMahon always picks Drew McIntyre to be his PR mascot, to be his PR spokesman for the WWE? Have you seen Drew McIntyre in fucking vaccine commercials? Have you seen Drew McIntyre on TV shows, in interviews? He is a spokesman for the WWE just like Reigns is. Here's why looks are important in professional wrestling. Pro wrestling is like, it's like being a fucking superhero, right? Okay. What if Batman was fucking 300 pounds? What if he was a fat slob? Would you buy his comics? What if Superman looked exactly like Kevin Owens? Would you be a fan of his? Would he sell movies? Ask yourself that. You see, people think I'm some size mark. And it's like, okay, if you think that, that just means you are a lazy bitch. You are just lazy. Have you seen what I look like in the fucking mirror? I'm jacked. I'm swole. I'm in shape. I'm healthy. Health is wealth. So when you say I'm a size mark, I only like big guys. Well, duh, I'm a big guy. I'm healthy. I'm in shape. I eat right. I go to the gym multiple times a week. I am a bodybuilding show champion. I got trophies. I'm in shape. So on what planet do you think I would be a fan of Kevin Owens, Eddie Kingston, Samoa Joe, Chris Hero, guys like that? On what planet do you think I would be a fan of those guys? You see, we need to get out of this notion where, oh, this guy looks like me, I gotta cheer him on. So you're going to cheer on a guy who's fat just like you? So you are going to stay obese because your favorite wrestler is obese? How is that normal? What if Hulk Hogan was obese? Would he be a draw? You see, looks matter. How many times do I gotta tell you? There's a reason why CM Punk had only 1 year as a draw. Out of his 10 years in the company. I think it was 10 years he was there, but maybe shorter. But there's a reason why CM Punk had a short run as a over guy in the WWE. There's a reason why he never outdrew John Cena. There's a reason why he never main evented WrestleMania. Who is going to buy tickets to WrestleMania to see CM Punk in the main event over John Cena and the fucking Rock? You serious? Looks matter. Let me drop a bombshell on you, you fucking marks. I did research. Did you know? See, Tony Khan don't tell you this because he knows all his fan base is a bunch of male neckbeard versions, right? Did you know that his key demos, right? He never goes into detail about his key demos. All he focuses on is the ages, right? Did you know that the WWE has a stronger female fan base than AEW? What that means is only niggas who watch AEW are the virgin male neckbeards, hardcore fans. They have nobody on that roster that appeals to women. That's very important. Why do you think Vince McMahon pushes guys with great looks? Why do you think Von Wagner is already on the main roster? Why do you think Ridge Holland is already on the main roster? They look like $1 million. And soon, Braun Breaker will be on the main roster very, very soon. Vince McMahon focus on how you look. Why do you think Roman Reigns was pushed down our throats for the past 8 years? Why do you think Vince was so stubborn? Because guys who have the body of a Reigns with that look, they don't grow on trees. That's why Vince was so stubborn on him being a top guy. Look at him. You see what I'm saying now? Okay. My mom is the biggest casual when it comes to wrestling, right? There's only 3 guys she likes. And that's Bret Hart, Ric Flair, and the fucking Rock. What do those guys got in common? Oh yeah, all the ladies love those guys. You see, being a draw in wrestling, it has zero to do with your work rate. Do you think my mom gives a flying fuck about Bret Hart's work rate? Ric Flair? Rock? No. Nigga, women don't give a flying fuck about the outcome of matches when it comes to men that they like. They don't care. It's a male fan thing. They're the ones who cry and bitch about niggas losing. Women don't care. Women don't give a flying fuck if Finn Balor loses. They don't care if Roman Reigns loses. They just want to see him. That's what makes them a draw. That's what makes Reigns a fucking draw. He looks like $1 million. Kids look up to Roman. Adult males, they want to be him. And adult females want to get with him. That's what makes him a draw. That's what drives in TV ratings. It's been that way since the 80s, 90s. It's not about the work rate. It's about how you look. Wrestling is fake. Nobody cares about your skills in a fucking ring. Only the marks. Only the hardcore marks. And guess what? I'm a casual. I am not a hardcore fan of wrestling. I'm a casual, homie. You know why? Because I don't care about a nigga's work rate. I care about how you look and are you decent in the ring? Do you have charisma? That sounds like Stone Cold Steve Austin to me. That sounds like The Rock. They were not great in the ring, but they had a character, charisma, mic skills, a great fucking look that you wanted to be. You inspired to be. There's nobody in AEW that attracts anybody. Tony Khan, he only likes work rate. He doesn't care about your look, and that's a problem. Nigga, if we want to watch dudes who don't look like athletes, who are talented, why can't we just watch the fucking UFC? Have you seen Cain Velasquez? That nigga looks like a fucking slob, and yet he is a legend, okay? Nobody cared about how he looks, because it's the fucking UFC. Your looks don't matter. The only thing that matters is how hard do you punch people? How good is your ground game? We don't care about how you look. In wrestling, that's important. Your looks are important. It's like, okay, who do you want to be? Do you want to be the chosen one, like a John Cena? Or do you want to be a struggling underdog face like Daniel Bryan, who the only reason he became world champion, the only reason he got a push was from sympathy from the audience? See, that don't last. Ask Kofi. Being rewarded a world title based on the crowd feeling sorry for you, that don't last. That's a crutch. That's not sustainable. You don't think Randy Orton attracts females in the audience? You don't think he draws viewers when it comes to the female demo? That's important. You don't think Lashley attracts females from the female demo? That's very important. Do you think Vince cares about male neckbeards? No, he does not. Hence why he pushes Roman Reigns. Hence why he pushes Seth Rollins. Both those guys got a great appealing look to the casual fan. You see what I'm saying? Vince, there's a reason why you'd never see Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens in any PR interviews. You'd never see him. See? You'd never see him. Vince only picks Reigns, Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus. Guys who look like that. Because looks matter. Looks draws you to buy tickets. I'm not talking to you hardcore marks. I'm talking about the casuals. Casuals care about how you look. Because if we want to look at a fat slob, we can just watch fucking UFC. If I want to look at a average everyday Joe kind of guy, I can just watch the fucking UFC, homie. That's facts. I can just watch fucking Daniel Cormier. He's fat, but he's talented. I don't care about how he looks. He whoops ass, don't he? You see? In wrestling, it's different. It's fake. Like, I don't want to watch a fat slob fake fighting. I want to watch a guy that I can aspire to be. Health is wealth. The guys I grew up idolizing, Rick Rude, Goldberg, Stone Cold, The Rock, Hogan, The Warrior, Scott Steiner. Hence why I'm in the gym every day, because I want to try my best to try to look like them. That's what I mean by you want the male demo to have fans that where it's like, okay, I want to try my best to aspire to look like Reigns, to look like Drew McIntyre. Okay, so you have that demo. Now it's time to get the female demo. AEW has the lowest female demo in all of wrestling right now. That's a problem. You can't cater to your hardcore niche audience that's filled with male version neckbeards. There's a reason why ECW never outdrew WCW or the WWF. Now, here's the thing about that. Yeah, their roster looked like a bunch of indie backyard wrestlers, but guess what? Their roster still had way better guys who had a better look than the current AEW roster. And that's sad. Let that sink in. Fucking Axel Rotten has a way better look than half that fucking AEW roster. And that's sad. Chris Candido had a way better look than that whole roster in AEW. And that's sad. Looks matter, homie. Do you think the Warrior would have been as popular if he was a fat slob? Dude, there's a reason why Scott Steiner constantly says Samoa Joe was a fat ass to his face. Oh, did you know that Reigns called Joe a fat ass a couple of years ago on Raw? You see where I'm getting at? Looks matter. It's like, dude, your work rate can only lead you so far in the professional wrestling business. Because, yeah, you wrestle good, but guess what? There's tons of guys who look exactly like you who wrestle the same as you. So what makes you different? What makes you stand out? Mustafa Ali. What makes you stand out, Ricochet? You see? What makes you stand out? Like, that's my point I'm trying to make. Looks matter. Being a wrestler is like being a fucking superhero. It's like, why would a guy like Scott Steiner look up to a guy like Kevin Owens or fucking Joe or Eddie Kingston? Nigga, if you idolize Eddie Kingston, maybe it's because you don't hit the fucking gym. Maybe you like it because he looks like the average Joe. How does that draw? You like wrestlers who have the look of an average Joe? Nigga, if that's the case, why don't you be a wrestler? How about you answer that? There's a reason why Edge called Daniel Bryan a fucking Starbucks cashier. There's a reason for that. It's like, if you like Adam Cole, then most likely you don't own a gym membership. That's real fucking talk. If you like Eddie Kingston, guess what? You don't own a gym membership. when it comes to my top 10 list of my favorite all-time wrestlers, I have no fat guys on there. I got guys that I want to fucking look like. I got guys that I looked up to as a kid because I viewed them as fucking superheroes to me. If you are going to a bar fight, who are you taking? Are you taking Stone Cold Steve Austin or are you taking Adam Cole? Why would you idolize a guy that you could probably beat his ass? Think for a second. There's a lot of guys I know who work at Starbucks that can beat the shit out of Adam Cole in a fucking fight. And that's your favorite wrestler. If that's the case, how come you're not in the damn ring making money, fake fighting? You got niggas like Joe, Adam Cole, Owens. You got guys like them making millions professional wrestling. How come you ain't doing it? Huh? They look like shit. How come you ain't wrestling, making money? It's that easy. A guy who has the body of a Kevin Owens is making millions of dollars professional wrestling. Let that sink in. You see what I'm saying? That's a problem. Casuals care about how you look. Only the smart mark hardcore fan base cares about work rate, how you are in the damn ring. Let me tell you something, bitch. Stone Cold was not a good wrestler in the ring. He was average. He was more of a showman. He was theater. I'll stuff a butthole in your ass. He was theater. The fucking Luke Des Press. He was theater. He was a character. He wasn't about the fucking work rate. Looks matter in professional wrestling, man. Stone Cold had $1 million look. Dude was bald-headed, jacked up, big arms, big ass shoulders. 250, 6'2". He had the look of an ass kicker that you wanted to be like, you wanted to idolize. Nobody's idolizing Kevin Owens unless you are a fat ass or a slob or a bag of bones who don't work out. Those are the only guys I know that like Eddie Kingston. Why do you think CM Punk had no staying power as a top guy in the WWE? Because guys who with that look, they only get temporary buzzes. They only get temporary pushes. And then the audience eventually gets over them and they resort back to cheering on John Cena, a guy who takes his look seriously. See, guys like Kofi, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, they don't have long-term staying powers as top guys. Guys like Batista, Braun Breaker, Roman Reigns, Orton, they have long-term staying power as top guys. Because at the end of the day, casuals are attracted to Goldberg, Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Roman, Sheamus, fucking Matt Riddle. You don't think Riddle has a strong fan base when it comes to the females? That's important, man. You don't want your whole audience to be filled with fucking male version neckbeards. Nigga, Bret Hart had a strong female fan base. My mom thinks he's sexy. Shit. My mom thinks Ric Flair is sexy. She thinks Rock is sexy. And she is a casual. So, when you look at a poster from the WWE, right? You see all these big guys like Lashley, Brock, Sheamus, Roman. And you compare that to a poster of AW, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, fucking Omega, Adam Cole. Who do you think a female is going to watch? She's going to watch Reigns. Am I wrong? So, point I'm trying to make is having a great look is extremely important. Why do you think Shawn Michaels had a strong female fan base? Because he had a great look. He drew in viewers. He was a tiny draw in his prime based on his fucking look. Razor Ramon had a great look. Diesel had a great look. Diesel wasn't a great guy with a kid to work rate, but people still wanted to see him because he was an attraction. He had a great look that drew in casuals, not hardcore fans. Hardcore fans will not grow your product. It's the casuals that will constantly grow your product. That's why AEW ain't growing. That's it, man. I'm done.